Well, what a cracking scrap, eh, with old Damien Duff getting Fulham off to a good start. Must have been a bit of a worry there for old Alex Ferguson. Second game of the season, first one lost to Everton, and the goal goes in the third minute, and it was a cracker as well, tapped it in along the ground, beautiful goal. But old Van Perse stepped up to the plate, didn't he? His first showing, and it was absolute Van Perse magic. Cracking shot, straight in there, no messing about. Yeah, it was, and they were off then. But Fulham, they held their own. You've got to be fair. You've got to give it to them. They were scrapping all the way, but certainly in the first half, Manchester United had them on the ropes, didn't they? And another debut goal from old Kagawa. That's it. I can't get his bloody name. I don't know these Japanese names. We're not used to those, are we? It's the old normally the old Latin names that we can been trying to get our heads around, and now we've got to try and get our heads around Japanese names as well. But Kagawa, and he knocked it in, just tapped the old bugger in there, and that was cracking stuff. And come half time, it was looking like, although it was it was a good scrap. It was looking like Manchester United had it all sewn up, especially when Raphael just knocked that header in on the 41st minute. It kind of made you think, well, they've got it sewn up if they just play the cards right and play it cool. But old Fulham came out scrapping, didn't they? They really did come out scrapping, and you've got to give it to them. They didn't give in. They played some good football. They played some excellent football, and then they must have thought they were back in with a shout, mustn't they? They really must have thought that that the gods were shining on them when old Vidic had the nasty mishap in the 64th, and that wasn't too clever. They thought, well, I wonder if we can make this a draw, and they played on. They started to lose a bit of momentum at the end, but old Alex Ferguson, I suppose, will be happy with the result, but I don't know whether he'll be completely happy. I expect he'll be a bit worried about old Rooney, mind you. But, that's a bit of a worry. I don't know, I haven't heard anything about what the outcome of that is, but that was a nasty gash on his leg by the look of it, and he's not somebody that ought to be missing at the beginning of the season, really. I know they've signed some good new talent, but you can't really do without a Rooney if you can avoid it. Certainly this early on, there's a long way to go, and for him to be out for any length of time would not be good. Let's hope they can patch it up and stitch it up, and he can be back. He can be back at it relatively quickly. But a cracking game, and you've got to give Fulham their due. They tried their hardest, and I expect that Alex Ferguson will just be having a sigh of relief, really, more than anything, and start to get the old firm back on track, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, your comments are gratefully received down there. Let's have a good old chat about it. What you thought. I thought it was certainly an entertaining game of football. I mean, you can't. If nothing else, it was an entertaining game of football. And Van Perse lived up to his transfer, didn't he? However much it cost, he lived up to it. No problem at all, I reckon. Good things to come. Anyway, let's wait for next week, eh? Ta-ra!